look so far away. Good morning, everybody. It's your KCHW morning show. We are here with myself, Chuck Ritchie, and our lovely new morning co-host, Gina Greenwood. Good morning, Gina.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Outstanding.
Lovely. A lovely assistant. Don't forget the lovely part. That's
partner.
wonderful.
Partner. On Thursdays,
No,
we're
assistant's
partners.
good.
Okay. Yeah, so my voice is a little scratchy this morning. I was just telling you I'm having a massive allergy attack right now.
A lot of pollen in the air.
The pollen in the count is really insane right now.
Mm-hmm.
Went out yesterday morning, and the air was just sort of this yellow haze of pollen, and I could
floating around.
I could feel it with every breath. It's like, oh man. And of course, I was forgetting to take my allergy pills, as usual. But
After that great weekend show of Chihuahua's Got Talent, you were maybe forgot a few things, but
right?
That was great.
Thank you.
Great. You did incredible. All the performers. It touched my heart. Our community with this talent that we have is unbelievable. It was very, very good.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm so proud of everyone that took part in that.
It was incredible.
And
I was happy to be there.
It's not even just the show itself. It's watching even in the short time between the auditions and the show, the couple weeks, they're rehearsing.
Oh, yes.
They're practicing. We have rehearsals. We have people that work with them.
It's incredible. The projection. You see their growth within a short span because they're just motivated. And to do their best.
Absolutely, and just gosh,
it was great.
All the winners. So I'm so proud of the show.
Happy heart.
I love that show every year. It's a lot of work.
It was wonderful.
But I think next year we're gonna get stuff started a little earlier. We're gonna get a little bit bigger team put together. First of all, mostly to remind me of all the stuff that I need to do before the show, so I'm not all trying to do it on the day of.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to do a couple extra rehearsal sessions to see how, in a couple rehearsals, to see how much they improved. From session to session. Even just rehearsing at home with some structured rehearsals,
right? With some professional help, which we have many professional people out there in the arts, and it was great. It was really great.
And it's going to keep growing every year and getting bigger and better. And I just can't even. Yeah, I'm proud of it.
I'm happy.
It was a great show.
It was wonderful.
I enjoyed it. 5 cents. That's Craig. He says, "Good morning, Chuck and Gina."
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's go ahead and kick things off here. Let's get into the weather. Today we're looking at a high of 79 degrees with a mix of clouds and sun, 48 degrees and clear skies overnight, 82 and 54 and sunny skies tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day for the market.
Oh, good.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes.
No clouds. It would be nice if there were a few clouds, but we got the trees.
Clouds have been incredibly beautiful. Have you recognized? I mean, in the last month, the cloud, the formations and the colors, and I've just been enamored by the clouds, the way they are, the beauty of the clouds lately.
I was driving home from Spokane last night. We actually had to stop. My kid wanted me to stop so he could take some pictures. The sun was setting, the moon was out, and it was just this teeny little bright sliver, but you could still see the whole moon behind it, and it was like these gradients of greens and blues going up from the horizon.
Yes.
With these like wispy, those clouds that streak all the way across the sky.
Serious.
It was absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful sunset last night.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right, then on Saturday, we've got a high of 88 degrees, getting warm again. 53 overnight with some clouds in the morning, then getting some sun later in the day. 74 and 47 on Sunday with partly cloudy skies. Looking exactly the same on Monday, but a 10% chance of rain. Tuesday, we have a 5% chance of rain with a high of 73, 48 overnight. Then Wednesday, partly cloudy skies sticking around with a high hitting 78 degrees and 51 overnight. 77 and 49 on Thursday of next week. And one thing I've really noticed too in the weather is night times. You go out after dark and it's that t-shirt weather now after dark and
balmy.
There've been a few times I'll go take the trash out and I'll just stand in the street for a while.
Absolutely. It was 83 yesterday. I mean, I don't know if that was the high, but woo.
Oh yeah.
It was very warm.
I was traveling yesterday. Not traveling, but I was running errands in Spokane all day yesterday, and I kept, turning the car off and going in, parking in black parking lots, and coming back out. It was hot
when you got in.
Hot in the car. So let's take a look at what the kids are having today. Let's see here. For breakfast, we have French toast sticks with a or these are all or options. or a fruit breakfast parfait with granola, or a variety of cereal with a cheese stick or yogurt, or bread or muffin with a cheese stick or yogurt.
Choices are good.
Yeah, I love that.
Choices are good.
I've had it explained to me almost like a continental breakfast style. I don't know if that's true or not, but one of these days we're going to get the nutrition folks from the school here.
Okay.
And we're going to talk to them about what they're doing. I'm sure right now as school's wrapping up, that's why we haven't had anybody on our show that we're doing now, because I've talked to some folks with the school and they're like, this is a busy time.
Last day of school is the 13th, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's just a 2-hour day. That's what I've heard.
That's just two weeks away.
I know.
And the kids will be out.
They're out
all day, every day.
School's out for summer.
Right?
Woo!
Are you gonna sing one of those schools out songs for us? I would do it, but nobody wants to hear me sing. No.
We just love the energy of school's out.
I know, right?
I remember those days, thrilled.
I still get excited about it.
I'm excited for them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's just summertime. It's a good thing.
And then those days right before when you can't sit still because you're like, oh, summer's coming.
Right.
And then you just wait, and then those days get longer and longer as you get towards the end, and then it's over.
All of a sudden,
and then you miss your friends. All right, so for lunch, the kids are having tater tot casserole with green beans and a fruit and veggie. Are you a tater tot? Are you a hot dish fan?
I'm a hot dish.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. I like sweet potato fries is what I really love.
Oh,
and
yeah.
grill, like roasted.
Oh yeah.
I'm a sweet potato fan.
I love a good sweet potato.
Yes, indeed.
One of my favorite things in the world is, and I've talked about this on the show before.
What's that?
A baked sweet potato with butter, salt, and pepper, and sausage, like crumbled breakfast sausage, and you just put it on there like a condiment.
Yep.
It's to me, that's one of my comfort food dishes.
And it's really good too with just like a dollop of yogurt.
Oh yeah.
Do the whole thing the same.
Yeah.
With spice or whatever, rosemary, fresh rosemary.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, to me, I don't know where it came from, but I've been eating it forever, and it's one of those. It's not really childhood because I didn't like sweet potatoes as a kid, but especially when I'm sick or something, not feeling well, I'll have
food.
I'll have a sweet potato and some
better quality, nutrition wise too. Yams and sweet potatoes are really superior to the other white potato. But I like white potatoes too. But I just
I love all
love
potatoes.
Me too.
Love them all. All right, so let's go ahead and get onto our community calendar, and then we're going to talk about some other stuff after the break, or after we're done with that. We're going to talk about some stuff with the market.
Okay.
Some stuff going on with the kids around town.
Great.
Talk about maybe a little more about school getting out, some other things happening coming up soon. All right, so on our community calendar, and I forgot to get your computer up. I was going to get you up and going so you could follow along.
I like just looking at you.
Aw.
Smiley, shiny.
It's early. It's just it's sweat. No, just kidding. All right. So today we have, what is today? Today is the 29th. All right. So we have the Chula Food Bank. They're open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now you can go get food, but they also take donations.
And it's everyone needs to realize how important the food bank. They need help.
Oh yeah.
Donate some food.
I don't have the stats in front of me.
Or your time.
Oh yeah,
Either one.
Food time, and I think what's more important than just about anything is money. Even if you have to, if you have a $5 bill, you're walking along, drive by, you see that window open.
Absolutely.
Go, drop them a bill or two.
Important.
And I've seen the stats on the number of people that use the food bank. People that you would never expect. It's not just almost everybody at some point or another in their life has either used the food bank or been at a point to where they probably could go use that food bank. Really provide a valuable service for the community. And
blessing for our town.
There's no harm, there's no shame in getting a little bit of help when you need
not.
it. And I think it's I've done it when my kids were little. Had a bad month or two, and man, you just
that's
sometimes
what
it
it's
gets
there
you through.
for, and it helps everybody.
Yeah. And donate if you're going to donate food, donate the good stuff. Don't donate that mystery can in the back that's about to expire,
or is expired.
Right? Well,
give them the good stuff.
If you get the stuff that's expired, I don't believe they can actually give that out.
No,
they have to throw it away. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just it.
All right. So tonight we have, speaking of necessary services, we have the Stevens County Healthcare Forum. That's happening at Guest Elementary School at 405 East Lincoln, where you can hear from local healthcare providers to learn how access to healthcare will be affected by budget cuts to Medicaid and Apple Health at the state and federal level.
And what time is that?
That is happening from 6 to 8 p.m. That's
At
it.
Guess Elementary.
At Guess Elementary, yeah.
Tonight,
yeah. So this is free and open to all Stevens County residents. For more information, you can contact indivisiblechihuila@gmail.com for more information. Now, I'm running the sound for this, and I've sat in on a couple of their meetings and listened to some of these healthcare providers, talk about, and we talked about this yesterday a little bit on the morning show, and I just kind of want to drive home this point that I don't want to put a negative spin on it, but there's the anti, Medicaid folks, I guess, the sentiment against Medicaid is that, they're a bunch of, loafers, freeloaders, or just hanging out. No, that's not
the case.
That's not the case. There's a lot of healthcare is one of our biggest expenses in the country. It's incredibly expensive. In some cases, more expensive than your mortgage. And we know how people can afford their mortgages right now.
And the hospitals don't they subsidize? Isn't the health
They
the
do.
hospitals, and people don't realize that.
Yeah, and that was the biggest surprise. I didn't realize that Medicaid subsidizes hospitals and keeps them open. And there's a good chance that if Medicaid is severely cut, hospitals around the country, especially smaller hospitals in rural areas like ours, are going to be the first and hardest hit. They're going to be the first to close down. Could you imagine this area without our hospital here? I mean, it's a small hospital as it is. It barely manages to keep up with the demand it has already. And could you imagine not having?
And there's
it
so
here?
many great people that work at the hospital.
There are.
They're kind and very efficient, and it can be a very challenging situation for sure.
Oh yeah. And there's going to be a lot of folks that are talking about all the different aspects of it and what it and what it means. And that's at Guess Elementary School. You don't want to miss that. There's going to be a lot of good information. It's not political, where nobody's taking sides. There's no arguments.
It's just information.
It's just
good
information. Yeah, about what it means, and this is straight from the source. It's not going to be debates and conjecture. It's
so that's six
real deal facts. All right, then Craigmire Karaoke. They're going to be singing it up at the Oasis. That's tonight at 8:30. That's going to be hosted by Leah B. The Friday morning, the Chihuahua Chamber of Commerce meeting is at the casino inside the Mistaqua Cafe from 7 to 8 a.m. Get up early. Go check that out. Listen to the morning show while you're on your way.
There you go.
Right. Then adult pickleball's up at the golf course. That's at 243 Park Place at the Chihuahua Court Center from 8:30 to 11:30. Then, of course, the Chihuahua Farmers Market. That's happening from 11 to 3:30. There's obviously it's a farmers market. There's all kinds of great veggies and produce.
Totally great.
And
good spirit people. And
just
it's a great event.
It's a good place to go get your lunch.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Put your feet in the creek.
Right. We're gonna be there. I'll be there live in captivity. You can come see me and poke a stick at me through the bars. No. But I'll be there. We'll be there with our sound system, setting stuff up, listening to some music. I'm not sure who did you hear who is going to be playing music this weekend?
I'm not sure. Okay. But there's always live music.
Yeah.
And then we'll be there. I'll be there with the Colonel program with the kiddos and the art and
exactly.
Lots of enthusiasm.
And we're going to talk about that after the break too.
Absolutely.
So we'll get more in detail with that in the Colonel program, which is
we shall
an amazing program. and don't forget to remind me. I got some inspiration last week that I want to talk about.
Okay.
For the market that I think. Pardon me. That's my allergies coming up out of my lungs. We have I have some ideas, but I don't really know how to flesh them out from this inspiration I got, and I want to talk about it a little bit later.
I love inspiration.
Yeah, it was a really cool thing.
Oh, good.
From my kid.
Okay.
That I want to talk about, and I want to try to figure out a way to expand on that and do something cool with it.
Yes.
All right. Then Saturday from 10 to 3 p.m. at Guess Elementary School is the Small Business Expo. Yeah.
Okay, and this Saturday. Yeah. I remember you speaking of it last week. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and this is the first of its kind. The first time the Chamber is doing this. This is a sort of branch off of the Home and Garden Show. There were so many businesses that wanted to take place in the Home and Garden Show that there wasn't enough room to fit everybody. And they wanted the Home and Garden Show to focus
on...
Have
a theme, too.
Yeah.
Yes, so this is great.
Yeah.
They expanded.
So this is for all the other businesses that aren't, landscapers and
exactly.
Builders and stuff. And the Home and Garden Show, we've talked about this a lot. There's a lot of those businesses that show up for that Home and Garden Show. Again, the landscapers, the contractors, they fill up their season at that Home and Garden Show. So if
It
you
is
don't,
a popular event.
and there's times, and I've experienced this myself when we first moved here. I needed to hire someone to do some work at my house, and I couldn't. And they're like, "Man, if you'd have been here at the Home and Garden Show, you'd have been able to get on our schedule. But we're full now, you know." And this was still early in spring. So, but this is again a shoot off of that. They're going to be
Small businesses.
small businesses,
Of all varieties.
organizations.
Yeah.
It's going to be
This Saturday. I guess.
a Festivus for the rest of us from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So it's going to be a fun one, and we'll be there as well. And then let's see. Ooh, I gotta switch to next month on the calendar view here. Ooh. Do you believe it's almost June already?
Yes, it is. Time is speeding up, as we all know.
It is
It's
wild.
not just our imagination.
Right? So then on Sunday is you can hang out with the Dinosaurs at Fired Up Pizza for the all
that's
ages
super
Blues and Brews
fun.
Jam.
Yes.
I love this one. There have been lots of side projects come off of this. There have been whole bands formed that are now playing. And, and,
it's wonderful. Great musicians show up, and the core is, of course, the great folks that
the
just
Dinosaurs, Dino and the
Sally
McQuains,
Craig,
and
yes, and Craig might show up every now and then, but then people from all walks of different instruments, and it's very great.
Daniel's there every Sunday.
Oh,
who did our
trombone.
That
was funny.
That performance, he brought the house down.
It's funny.
He wasn't able to compete because his wife was one of the judges.
Right.
But,
It was funny.
He came to auditions. We're like, all right,
Classic.
Daniel, you got to do that in front of a crowd.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Daniel's one of those guys. He eats it up, man. He just loves every second of it. He's fun to watch.
It was fun.
All right, so we've got. Let's see. We should get Daniel. We've never had Daniel on the morning show. We should get Daniel on someday. Yeah. We'll have him on a Wednesday with Paula.
There you go.
Or maybe have him on without Paula. We can bring him on a Thursday or Friday with Craig. Ooh. All right. So we have Tuesday next week is the coffee social. That's at the senior center. I can't even speak this morning. The senior center in Chewelah.
It's a coffee social.
Yeah. That's from 10 a.m. to noon, and then it's story time at the public library. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to skip through because the rest of these are the usual things, except the first Thursday art walk is happening on the 5th, and that is. This is like the third month in a row, I think, that first Thursday has been in. I guess the 5th isn't too close to the first of the month, but last month it was on the 1st, I believe.
I can't remember, but it's coming right up.
And
always good.
This one's a fun one. So there's going to be. Oh, I don't have the poster in front of me.
Is it this one?
No, that's an old. That was from last month. But this is going to feature the plein air artists. And last weekend they were everywhere. Doing paintings and sketches of everything around town. And this was a fun one. Last year there were, I don't want to guess, but there were a ton of submissions.
Quite a few artists, yes, and they were great.
I love seeing, especially people that paint the same things and the same areas, and seeing the different depictions of how it strikes them.
Exactly.
You get some that are very literal. You get some that are pretty abstract. I kind of tend to the abstract ones myself, but yeah, it's a fun one. And we're going to have Tim Nielsen on the Wednesday before at 4 p.m. right here on the radio for About the Arts, our monthly art talk with Tim.
A little art promo.
Yeah, and it's always fun to talk. Tim is so much fun, and he looks forward to that every month. I hope he does. He seems like he does.
The gallery's just amazing. He and Nandis have done an incredible job.
They really have.
It's beautiful.
They really is. I'm so glad they're there.
High quality work.
Oh, it is. It is. And the artists that come from other areas to display at his gallery, it's amazing. They look around. They're like, this is in. They'll go and look outside the door like, what is this thing doing over here? But then they see the rest of Chewelah and they're like, oh, okay, now it makes sense.
Creative District, we are on the map.
Oh yeah. And we'll have artists. I believe. I know Chris Davis is going to be at the Spotlight Gallery at the Aaron Huff Memorial Center. And I saw the name of the other artist who's going to be there, but I don't remember who it is off the top of my head. So we will move along. Yeah, and then, of course, the Friday market is Friday. And then I don't see anything else of note coming up soon, but I know there's probably plenty. I'm just not seeing it. All right, so do you want to go ahead and get right in and talking about the what you're doing with the Kernel program?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I know we're going to start highlighting kids events every Friday and stuff, or every Thursday rather, and stuff we're doing around town with the kids. So go ahead and let's. We talked about it last week. Let's give people another reminder of what the Kernel program
is. A sponsored primarily by Catholic Charities, and it's an educational based promoting good nutrition and exercise. And the STCU is one of the sponsors, and I believe Avista this year as well. And it's really educational. And for me as an artist, I bring an art element that layers into the theme of the project.
Yeah.
So I just love. Should we let people stick around? The kids stay.
Oh, they do.
They hang out, because it's a fun place. I mean, it's a beautiful setting. So this week, I think I'm going to do something about bugs. So education about how important bugs really are in the world. Yeah.
Nice.
And so then we'll just make some 3-dimensional bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what we're going to be doing. And I'll bring my hoops, and there'll be some music going on, and always volunteers are needed at the market, as we talked about before.
Always.
And I heard that they get there, Ryan and Sean get there. Debbie Barbie also is very much a part of it. They get there pretty early, like 7:30. I didn't realize it was that early, but of course it's a lot to set up.
It is.
And
it
so
really is.
Opens up. You don't have to stay all day. You come lend a hand. If you want to come to our area, the Colonel program, and have some fun, that'd be great. Go harass Chuck in his little zone, whatever he's up to.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure where we're going to be this week, but it doesn't matter. We'll be having fun.
Doesn't matter. And there's a lot of vendors everywhere, and lots of just people. I have a few folks I talked with. I want to talk to more as we go along, but if you want me to mention a couple of the vendors that stated a little bit,
I got a few more questions about this.
About the market?
Yeah, what are you going to be making bugs out of? What kind of materials do you have?
Well, I have random materials. I like to use repurposed things, and I do a template with like a plate, and then I do typical googly eyes, but I just do like accordion type legs if they want, or pipe cleaners, or just recyclable. But it's it's 3-dimensional, which is great.
Yeah.
And then there's always a recipe that goes along with it. Plus, you get $2 that the children get $2 of Colonel Bucks, and that is a program that's wonderful. You go and buy fresh food. I always say buy something delicious and nutritious. And so families that come that are like families that have 6, 7 kids, you put that $2 together, you can get some nice food.
Oh yeah.
And plants. There's starts that you can use the money for. Starts and just something that is food based, nutritional based.
Well, we talked a little bit last week, and I love that image running through my head of the kids going and getting a peach or something juicy.
Oh yeah.
And I was talking with Meryl about that last week because it's a little early in the season.
It's early, but
for that, but he's really
they
looking
can grab a
forward to that
zucchini.
too.
I mean, you slice that up, and that's delicious raw.
Right.
I know. Whatever.
I'm going to take your word for that one. I do love zucchini, but I like it.
I know most people eat it sautéed, and I do too, but it's actually quite good.
I like it. I like
raw.
it sliced almost like slabs, and then like almost blackened on the grill. Oh, I love
That's
it. I love it.
Really good.
Or sometimes I like to call it like my zucchini bacon. Where you do like the long thin strips and cook it till it's almost crispy, and then it's just like little crunchy bits.
And
of zucchini.
I've been
It's so
doing
good.
this asparagus lately because asparagus is full on right now.
Oh yeah.
And I've been doing it on a roasting pan with in a bowl, just like some olive oil and some spices or whatever, and just 400 degrees, and let it go for like 6-7 minutes, and then toss it around a little bit. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Ooh.
I mean, I can eat like a bunch for just a meal because it's delicious.
Asparagus is probably one of my favorite things. When I was a kid, you couldn't get me near it. But you know what my mom did with it when I was a kid? She boiled it.
Oh,
she would boil it.
Back in the day, they would
and
destroy vegetables.
She would boil it and then like soak it.
It'd get all soggy.
It would get soggy and slimy, and then she'd just put like
can't have soggy
like a half a
asparagus.
cup of margarine on it, so it would be swimming in like asparagus water that's slimy.
I
with
can
margarine.
visualize, and it's not pretty. Crispy's best, roasted crisp.
Oh yeah. You get those little fine tips that get the little blackened on the edges. I love it. Really quick here, we got a couple comments online. David Bergman says, "Good morning, good morning, Dave."
Good morning.
That's Dave. That's Dave Jr.
Dave
Yep,
Jr.
Yep. Good morning, David, and Craig from Five Sons. That's our Craig McQuain here, of course.
Of course.
Karaoke is hosted by DJ. And our artist tomorrow morning for the Northern Light Spotlight right here on KCHW Morning Show is Deborah Stark.
Oh, I know Deborah.
Do you?
Yeah, she was. Well, I think it's Deborah. Maybe I don't.
Maybe. Well, we're going to meet her tomorrow.
We're going to meet her tomorrow.
Right. Looking forward to that. All right. Sorry, I cut you off there with comments. We were talking.
It's fine.
We were waxing.
There's no cutoff. We're all just flowing with it. We just flow.
Oh yeah. We were waxing poetic about asparagus, and I got lost. I got lost in your asparagus.
I got lost. Asparagus forest.
All right. So we've got some other vendors that we want to talk about. Some other things going on at the market.
So Ina, I asked her to comment with me, and there's so many more vendors.
We're not hearing you. The mic there. There we go. Sorry.
I can't read this with. Hold on a second.
It's difficult.
Anyhow,
We'll get a better setup here one of these days.
I know. I just hold on. So I learned something about Ina. She goes stitch by stitch.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
She has a vendor booth at the market, of course. People ask me if I'm local. I say I was born down the street, the hospital, which we were just referring to.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up real remote and learned how to sew when she was 7. 7 years old.
Wow.
She was making quilt blocks at 9 and begging my grandma to help me finish my blocks into quilts at 11. She started selling at craft sales and shows when kids were playing, and sleeping under the tables. Her kids, I guess. Outdoor events are her favorite. And sewing is just the hobby that I love to do. And my motto is that she makes quality, many different things she makes. And then you just can't buy. You just can't buy it at a department store,
No.
And she has donated fabric to myself for the art area also. And I was a nanny for some time, a couple years, for a young girl who was 2 when I did some work with her, and she's 13. And her mom and her sewed these prayer skirts that Ina donated, this most beautiful fabric. They went to Thailand to visit their grandpa.
Oh, nice.
And the women have to wear like a sarong so their ankles aren't showing. So they made these beautiful, and I was so proud because they met Ina, and she showed them. The girls showed the skirts that were made from her fabrics. And she does really unique things. I mean, aprons and all kinds of different blocks and like things that you put on for like a microwave. You can hold it underneath the bowl so it's not hot.
Oh, yeah.
And just variety of things. She's prolific at sewing, obviously, since she was 7.
We've got a whole drawer full of those. They're sort of bowl shaped and they're square, and you hold them under your bowls. Oh, I love those things.
Yes. I don't know what they're called, but
they're equally good for like a nice bowl of ice cream while you watch your favorite show. You can keep your hands from getting freezing. Yeah, yeah.
How was the quilt show?
I didn't make it to the quilt show.
There was so much happening.
I had a talent show that I was getting ready for.
Exactly. Right.
Unfortunately, I didn't make it, but I would love to hear about it. I haven't heard anything about it, but
get
I know it was amazing.
on the air to talk about that because I was really looking forward to doing that myself too. But I'm sure it was incredibly.
You didn't make it either.
I was full on this past weekend too.
Oh yeah, the quilt show. It always every year.
We talked about that last week. Yeah. So beautiful.
I think this is the first year I haven't gone, and I kind of wish I could have made it.
There's a few things I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
That drive-in, that I wanted to attend. The film.
Oh, yeah, the film festival.
So how was that?
That was fun. There wasn't a big turnout. There were maybe a dozen cars, so kind of a lower turnout than usual. But yeah, there was, it's local films. There were some that were like, oh, what did I just watch? But those are still just as fun.
Yeah, of course.
But there were a couple.
And then Craig opened it up with,
yep.
I don't know who accompanied him.
It was Craig and the Brats.
Oh, and the Brats.
Yep. The
of
Brats
course.
They were playing.
That's awesome. I love that idea.
That's always
Guess
fun.
what? This is true. I don't know how to work the radio in my car. I listen to CDs, and I could not figure it out. And so I was asking a couple of people. I go, "Hey, you guys want to, go?" And I just didn't get any takers to go. So I should have just hopped in the car with you guys or something.
I felt you were telling me that, and it didn't even occur. I'm like, I had 5 things
I know that
going on in
sounds
my mind.
ridiculous. I mean, I have a really good sound system, but do you think I know how to work the radio in the car? No. So my car was packed for the market because I had tables, chairs, so I was packed.
Yeah.
Because I had, the market next day. So I just know I would have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I get out of this conversation is you're not listening to KCHW 102.7.
Well, I listen when I can, but it's difficult for the radio is just, I don't have internet.
Right.
I know that sounds crazy, but I just don't. And I do listen. I just didn't know how to listen to it. I know. But the radio in my car is the challenge because the drive-in. I used to go to the drive-in when you hung the little boxes out on your window. That's how I remember. And then when I went to the drive-in years ago, this is kind of embarrassing, but I was there enjoying the film or whatever. And do you think I knew why people were starting their cars? Like, Gina, people are starting their cars, okay? I didn't even think about it. So my car was dead, of course, when I went to start it, but I had a nice person help me jump it. That was ridiculous. I'm like, why didn't I notice this? I mean, I'm just like, but that's my.
Yeah, we usually start the car when it's cold. We'll start the car and get the heater going, or or when it's hot.
And I know better. I just don't know what happened that moment. But it was. I just remember the boxes, hanging on the window.
Oh yeah,
and you pile of many people in the trunk. Well,
as many as you can fit.
Yeah. Carload.
I love seeing people bring couches and people set up like a whole setup,
little outdoor seating area.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's my favorite.
They bring couches?
Oh yeah, I've seen people before. I've seen
couches.
Oh, I've seen people like throw couches in the back of their truck or love seats.
Oh yeah, then back
sideways.
it up and then they have the. Oh yeah, okay, that sounds fun.
Or bean bags. Throw some bean bags in the back of your pickup.
Yeah, I love sleeping out under the stars in the back of a pickup with a nice mattress and cozy.
Oh yeah.
Cozy quilts, comforters, and just look at the stars. That's one of my faves.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's time, right? It's the time. It's going to be the time of the year where you can go and sit out and be comfortable. Mm-hmm. And we said, we like to do the lawn chairs, and we'll back the car up, and the kids lounge out in the back of the car. We flip the hatchback up, and
perfect.
Yeah, I love it. To me, we're so fortunate to have that.
To have the drive-in.
The drive-in right here. There's so few left in the country. And we have one, 45, it's not even 45 minutes away. It's about 30 minutes away.
And one thing just triggered my brain, the bowling alley. I don't know if everyone realizes how nice our little bowling alley is. We should maybe connect with those folks too. Because
definitely.
They own the Copper Bowl, I do believe, as well.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to go bowling. Anyhow, I know there's bowling leagues. I know people are into that. But just to remind, again, kids, like the youth, take your kids bowling.
Well,
it's super fun.
The new owners, I believe, they did a bunch of renovations to the bowling alley.
It's great. Yeah.
Our kids wanted to, it was our kids. I have twins. It was their 18th birthday in January.
I want to have the birthday party.
And I'm thinking, do you guys want us to drive you in Spokane and drop you off at a friend's house? Or, what do you guys have planned for your birthday? And they're like, well, we want to go bowling with you guys.
Yay!
And I was like, really?
Aww,
so we had a great day.
And you had a blast.
We had so much fun.
It's so much fun.
I think we bought every food item on the menu, and we just had it all spread out.
Oh, that's great!
And it was just us.
That's great.
And it was really a good time, and the food was really good. And
we could find out who is an incredibly good bowler as a younger person. That might be fun to get on the air and talk about.
Oh yeah,
the bowling alley.
And
where because I see some incredible when I go there. There's amazing bowlers.
Oh yeah. I
just dance around, and I don't put the gutter ball thing. I don't put the gutters in there, but I certainly can throw a strike every now and then. And believe me, I get excited.
I grew up in high school. I bowled a lot. They tried to recruit me to get on some bowling teams.
Oh.
I was fairly decent for a little while. I wouldn't say I'm good. I was fairly decent. But I got too many. In my old age, I got shoulder problems, and it's really hard for me to do more than just kind of like drop it and throw it.
Right, because you have shoulder stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt my shoulders.
I used to wear bowling shoes as a fashion statement in high school.
Nice.
I love them.
Nice. I love it. I bet you that was hard on the ice.
Oh, I didn't wear them on the ice.
Okay.
Springtime attire, spring and summer.
I think bowling attire in general. I love a good bowling shirt.
Oh yeah.
They're
love
comfy.
Love it.
Fashion statement. All right, so we talked about Ina a little bit. Ina, is that right? Ina?
Ina.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what was her booth?
Well, she calls Stitch by Stitch.
Stitch by Stitch.
I believe that. Yes.
And what all products does she carry in her booth?
I didn't ask her about everything. I know she's prolific. Just go check her out, and it's amazing. I really don't. I didn't have her list everything that she has.
I'm pretty sure we have. I think I know who you're talking about. I'm pretty sure we have a couple of her things at our house.
I'm sure.
Does she do like bags and
Yep,
stuff? Yeah,
bags
yeah.
and aprons and all kinds of things.
Oh yeah.
I mean, amazing. She's prolific. You cannot believe how much.
I think that's one of the places that my kids, especially my daughter, that's one of her go-to places. She goes like straight there because she does a lot of like Pokemon stuff. And she, my daughter's always like, what do you have this week for Pokemon bags? Or,
And then another great, I didn't get a hold of her, but I know that Rochelle and her two daughters, Megan, right, and Rebecca, they say it in silver.
Yeah, yeah.
And they do vintage, they take vintage spoons.
Yes.
And create them into different things. I was gifted, finally, I picked something out. Check this out. This was last week. This is gorgeous. It's from the 1900s. It's an Egyptian. She gifted me last year, and I was never had a chance to go over and actually try things on and see what resonated with me. Anyhow, those girls are awesome. Rebecca helped me last week. Let's talk about volunteers. She just stepped right up and just came over to the booth and helped me with the kids, and she was wonderful. It's a great family, and their grandpa helped set up and tear down, but she does a lot of different things.
I got a phone call from I was talking with my parents a few weeks ago. And my mom was like, "Oh, hey, remember those old silverware sets, that we had growing up that we never used? Well, a bunch of them are missing pieces, and they're not complete sets. And we got a couple of new sets that we don't need. Do you guys want these old ones?" And my first thought went to Rochelle, and I'm like, "We're gonna Mother's Day gifts, birthday,
absolutely,
we're gonna Mom, you're gonna get them back, but they're gonna be better."
Yeah, so she, like bracelets, just does all kinds of cool stuff. And there earrings, bracelets, have pendant, kind of cool. Just there's a deco piece I remember seeing. It was a set, it had Art Deco flavor to it. But I'm super thrilled with my ring.
Oh yeah,
it was lovely.
Well, I'm excited about it because they were my grandma's.
I know they're meaningful,
and they're as not a complete set. My parents are like, well,
so you'll have her make something for your mom, right?
So I'm looking forward to that.
That's fabulous.
And one of them's a set from my grandma on my mom's side and my grandma on my dad's side. So we've got both sides of the family that we'll be able to make jewelry out of.
Excellent.
So really looking forward to that. Rochelle, I got work for you. All right. Let's see. What else we got? Do you have some other artists to highlight?
We were really busy because there was no school.
Oh, yeah.
And we were popping as far as the kid area. Colonel program was very busy.
Yeah.
And so I am going to this week talk to more vendors and get their personal statements that they'd like for us to promote. There's so many different fabulous vendors, and again, the food areas. There's a lot of new people that they have. I know Nina does the Thai. Nina and Joe does Thai food.
Yeah,
they're incredible. Someone told me that Chris. I'm hoping this is correct. He's doing something with shrimp. Did you hear about that? Is that right?
Yeah, the bomb. I think it's the bomb shrimp.
Is that Chris from Fired Up?
It is. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. So someone told me about that. Was delicious.
It is really good. Yeah.
You tried some?
I did. I had that was my first week at the market was I went and got Chris's shrimp, and it was delicious.
That's great.
And I tried it.
Who's triggers in your mind?
I try to hit somebody every week. I tried
someone new.
Yeah, I tried. There was for the life of me, it's a lovely woman. I can never remember her name from Belize.
Oh, her food is great.
It was so good. I got and that
there's a lot of good food.
That to me screams like home cooking. Like
definitely.
It's not. It reminds me of something you would go to Belize and get. You go stay with somebody,
Absolutely.
and that's what they would make at home, and it's delicious.
And so there's all kinds of beautiful. I know plant starts and produce, of course. The mushroom gentleman, he does really great. I don't know his first name, but
is it?
I'm not sure.
I want to say I'm not going to say the wrong name.
Yeah, he has some really awesome formula that I use in my tea. Is ground up all these beneficial mushrooms, like 11 different varieties. I think you were talking about it. Your kids use it too. It's delicious.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes it good. It's really good health benefits. There's amazing.
2 weeks in a row, I've meant to get over there and get some more of that, and I keep forgetting. But one of my favorite things about him is just standing there having a conversation with a guy. I could stand and talk to that guy for an entire market.
Mushroom shirt,
right? Right?
It's awesome.
I have a mushroom shirt that shrunk in the wash. I'll say, I outgrew it, but yeah, it's I bet it would fit him. I'm going to bring it to him one of these days and gift him my mushroom shirt.
That's great.
I don't know if I will ever get small enough again to wear that, but
give it away. That's always good.
Yeah, and then I'll get another one if I get that small again.
There you go.
Yeah. As my mom,
And the front porch always has a lot of produce, of
Oh,
course. Yeah, they work hard. And the bread box, they always do beautiful food too, baked goods.
Oh yeah, and pies. The
The
pies.
pies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't know too. They can custom make your pies and stuff.
Yeah, you can give them enough time, and you can call an order in. I had a birthday cake made for a friend because I don't bake; I cook mostly. But yeah, just give them a few. Give them heads up.
And they'll do their pecan pies. They make a good pecan pie, but you have to pre-order your pecan pies.
Because that's labor.
It is. It's a lot.
And
of work.
pecans. I mean, they're delish.
But expensive.
So we have another thing happening, which is kind of fun, is that we touch base with the arts in the schools.
Yeah.
I'm going to go again to Valley. I went to Summit Valley last time. And the Arts in the Schools program is Chihuahua Arts Guild.
Yeah.
The Taste of Chihuahua is the primary fundraiser for that, and then other donations. But the Heartbeat ladies that's on the corner, the drummers,
yes,
they're going to be at the Valley School. And that's fun. They came to Summit Valley.
That's incredible.
And so Gail Schrappe, and she's going to be doing a earth mandala.
Beautiful.
And Suzanne Grape will be doing some poetry. I'll be dancing with all my props and fun stuff. So it'll be live drummers, percussion instruments, and I might bring my gifted djembe that my friend Casey gifted me. It'll be fun. It's an all-day affair.
Yeah.
And I think the art teacher is going to be doing like maybe friendship bracelets, I believe. So they're like stations that we have. So it's all day. It's like a full-on all day. And this is the second year that they've hosted. They've been to different schools. I talked on the air about that. Let me see if I can.
No,
I know they went to. Hold on. Go ahead. Ask me.
And you guys are going to all be together doing this?
We're going to be together,
That's
all
awesome.
of us. It's so fun, and an all day affair.
So for the drums, are they going to? Are there extra drums for the kids? I'm assuming they're going to be teaching the kids.
They actually do. Yeah, they do performance based, right?
Okay.
And then percussion instruments, and they've gone to Valley, Paideia, Chihuahua Quartzsite, Summit Valley, and Riverwood schools. And the Heartbeat drummers, again, are a group of 6 gals with a new additional didgeridoo player.
Nice.
Yes.
I was going to say, if they need an extra drum for the kids to drum on, they can borrow my djembe for the weekend.
That'd be awesome. I have. So then
not my didgeridoo though, because didgeridoos are personal.
Plus, you don't want people slobbering on
Right.
it. But yeah, we've done poetry, dance, masks, drawing, weaving, recycled paper, and so much more. And it's just a lot of fun. And that'll be a good way to, celebrate the summer that we were talking about. Like summer, school's out. So that'll be on Monday the 9th. We'll be at Valley.
And are they going to be doing that program during the summer too, or just?
I'm not
just
certain.
Until the
I
end
think
of the
it's art
year?
in schools.
Yeah.
But you and I talked about maybe doing some classes at the Huff Center.
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff we can do.
Absolutely. We both have an amazing array of things to offer.
Oh yeah.
And
it is.
I'm excited.
The possibilities are unlimited.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
It's one of my passions is the art and movement and just being with young people and older people that have young hearts.
Exactly.
Creativity.
My
good
wife,
for the soul.
My wife always says I'm like an 8-year-old. So, I take that as a compliment.
Well, you turn 8, the number 8 sideways, and it's infinity.
There you go. See?
Everybody I love it. My favorite number 7. You said yours was as well.
Especially as a kid, I don't know what it was about I wrote the number 7 on everything.
But and every number is symbolic, But 8's fun. Anybody that I know that turns 8, even if they're 88, I always say you turn it sideways and it's infinity.
Exactly.
It's kind of a fun thing to visualize.
It is.
So about the inspiration of, we talked about being inspiring, right?
Yeah.
In our life. I feel that taking moments, make the mundane sparkle, to not take advantage and just really recognize, like we talked about a little bit last week, the sounds of nature. I mean, there's numerous studies of taking and putting your bare feet on the earth and just being present and just listening to the sounds around you, taking a moment, even if it's just 10 minutes or 15 minutes, again, put your feet in the creek. And we all love our area. It's so beautiful here. I was walking over and you could see the shimmering of the copper of the church, the copper top, and then the vivid mountains in the back and the colors now too. There's certain vibrant, like when you go to Spokane, that mustard.
Yeah.
Those mustard fields.
Is that what that is?
I believe.
That's
it's like chartreuse.
That's
it's
what
like
I thought it was.
So bright against the horizon of the sky.
It's gorgeous.
Isn't it? It was sunflowers at one time, and I
think they grow one in the spring, and then they grow the sunflowers later in the year.
Crop rotation, I believe.
Yeah.
But boy, that color is magnificent.
It's
chartreuse.
Gorgeous.
I mean, it is a bright.
I'm glad you said that.
I think it's mustard.
That was my thought too. Is it looks?
I do believe
it looks kind of like the wild mustard that took over my garden.
I like wild stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild mustard. Let's call it that. And then I was reading too about forest bathing. Not only just earthing with your feet, but to get out. I mean, they started in Japan a movement in the 80s, I believe, where you bathe within the forest. Like go into a forest and put your body up against a cedar tree.
Oh yeah.
And just be there.
Yeah. I like
go to
that.
the God's Water, you guys. The natural spring that we have. Do you know where that's at?
No. Where's that?
Oh, that's
I've never heard of it.
Yes, it's a natural spring that comes out of the earth. It's like, okay, how do I describe it? You go up Horseshoe Lake, the back way, and then you keep going past Mud Lake is the visual that I can say. You just keep it's just this little offshoot on the left. I'd have to take you, but it's beautiful cedar trees, and it's a natural spring. That's where I get my water.
And this
right here in our area.
Okay, I've heard there
is
a spring.
People call it God's Water.
Okay, you're
and
right.
Goddess Water, I'll say.
Goddess Water, I love it. I've heard of it. I've never been able to find it. It's
incredible, and they have comes right out, and there's a platform of wood that if you have a heavier gallon of jug that you can't hold under the flowing water.
Yeah,
people just bring plywood so you can have something to support it.
Yeah,
your big jugs. I'll take you there.
Gina just said big jugs on the air.
Well, water jugs. Oh, Lord.
Did I mention my wife says I'm an 8-year-old? Yeah. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
Water vessels.
She said it, not me.
Yeah, I know.
So when we lived in Knoxville in Tennessee, there was in the city park, or one of the city parks, there was a natural spring, and it was under a covered area. It was they did it really nicely. There were benches you could sit, and it became a conversation piece.
And fill up your
containers. Where people would come and fill up your containers.
I'll say containers.
Right? And there was usually quite a few people there. And the coolest thing
in the park?
Yeah, in the park. And it was it was down there was the spring flowed into the creek. So the spring sort of came out of this little embankment off the side hill and flew. It just came straight out of the embankment, and it shot out like 3 or 4 feet. It was really
That's awesome.
It was really powerful. And that's where people would go, and it was delicious, absolutely fantastic water.
I'll take you. I'll show you where it's at.
I was there one time filling up, and this older Asian gentleman, he pulls up, and we got to talking a little bit. He's like, "Yeah, I'm on my way to go get my Nobel Prize," and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, dude, whatever." He's like, "Yeah, comes with $1 million," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, what'd you do?" It's like he said something about he worked with trains and something. I'm like, "Okay, dude, yeah, sure. You have a nice day." We had a nice guy. We had a great conversation, but he seemed a little off anyway, a little, and. Sure enough, I went home that night, and on the news,
he was on
the gentleman that I had talked to
and won the Nobel
park,
Prize.
Winning the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, that's awesome.
He had developed some sort of I have no idea what it was. I don't remember. Just that it had something to do with the design of train tracks. He did something, I think, to lessen vibration on train tracks.
And there you go. And you saw him.
And I was like,
and you witnessed the truth.
I was screaming at my wife, "Oh my, you got to come here and see this. This is the guy I was talking about." Yeah. And so that day.
That's great. Because
of the spring, and he was passing through on his way, because this was Tennessee, and I think he was on his way to wherever they did the ceremony. I think it was in Virginia, maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, so he was just passing through, and he had heard about this spring, and he had his jugs that he was traveling with.
Right. You just said jugs.
I did. I'll say it again. And he just stopped to fill them up. He's like, "Yeah, every time I come through here,
That's
I come to this park and fill
fantastic.
up my water." Yeah, so it was kind of a fun
So
experience.
the Japanese man, Yoko, what's his name, Gina, about the water study, about the molecular structure of water. Do you hear about that?
I haven't.
Yakamoto. I hope that's right.
Okay.
Anyhow, he did this research of intention, and in the subway, I think it was like Chicago, and he had water that was in different vessels, and then a negative term like say hate, and then joy, love, and different intentions that were on these glass water vessels. And the molecular structure of the water that was brought with good intention was this beautiful mandala, the cell, the image, and the ones that were intended to be on a negative energy field were all like diluted and distorted.
Wow.
He's famous for this study. Yeah.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm saying the name correctly, but we can look it up. But it's fascinating. So so if the intention, right?
Yeah.
That we put out in life, and that is a incredible study that was held that he did.
Well, I know there've been a lot of studies about plants as well.
Yeah, music and love and growth, and they grow. And if you give them negative vibe,
they don't grow that well.
They don't. It's totally important.
And that's been shown to be true. If you yell and scream at a plant and say negative things, they do not grow well.
No, you have to be kind.
Yeah,
to your
it's incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible. All right, well, it is time to take a break.
Okay.
So we're going to listen to our news. We're going to thank our sponsors. We're going to, again, take a little break here.
All right.
So you are listening to the KCHW Morning Show right here on KCHW. We'll be right back after our break.
It's 8:19.
Your KCHW Morning Show is made possible by donations from
Colville Toyota. Colville Toyota, located at 160 West 3rd Avenue in Colville, offers new and used vehicle sales and service. Vehicle sales is open 8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with a Toyota Express Maintenance Center open 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information on Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com. A small-town dealership with a big heart.
and by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
The Public News Service NOAA newscast, May the 29th, 2025. I'm Mike Clifford. Wall Street has a new shorthand about President Donald Trump, and he's not happy about it. Traders have reportedly come up with the acronym TACO, which stands for Trump Always Chickens Out. That from Politico, they report he bristled when asked about it in the Oval Office Wednesday. Don't ever say what you say. That's a nasty question, Trump told a reporter who asked for his response to the acronym. To me, Trump said that's the nastiest question. Meantime, a coalition of community leaders are connecting Spokane residents to career opportunities with the goal of building a strong, diverse economy.
Washington's second largest city, which once relied on timber and mining, has seen growth in industries like healthcare, advanced manufacturing, and technology. Erin Vincent is with Greater Spokane Inc., the region's business development organization. She says part of workforce development means focusing on young people. One of GSI's initiatives, Business After School, gives local students in the 6th through the 12th grades the chance to gain real-life skills in a workplace setting.
Whether it's trades, apprenticeships, 2 years, 4 years, any of those are great options. What can we do to create the conditions so that kids can choose whatever is best for them.
Vincent says about 12 host businesses participate in Business After School during the year. She adds students get a glimpse into different careers in a variety of ways, including career fairs and visits from industry professionals. I'm Isabel Charlet.
Support for this reporting provided by the Illumina Foundation. This story is based on original reporting by Laura Aka for Working Nation. And President Trump's directive to fire thousands of probationary federal workers in February has led to a reduced staff at an Indiana animal research lab.
A staff reduction leaves just one scientist at the Livestock Behavioral Research Unit at Purdue University, a sub-lab of the USDA's Agricultural Research Service. Established in 1992, the lab has led research on farm animals' pain, nutritional needs, cognition, and stress. Sentient environmental reporter Gray Moran says the welfare conditions of farm animals are not public knowledge, given that few people directly interact with these animals.
So much of what happens to farm animals happens behind closed doors. It happens within windowless barns that the public rarely view, but so many animals experience immense pain through mass animal confinement.
Direct knowledge of the animal's experiences is unavailable, Moran adds, and it is hard to say if living in a crowded barn is stressful for a chicken, but the lab provided insight into this question. Moran believes that with less staff, the complete closure of the lab could happen. I'm Terry D. reporting.
And this story produced with original reporting by Gray Moran for Sentient Policy. This is Public News Service. A bill pending in the legislature would require public employees to opt into their unions is being called a direct attack on Louisiana workers.
The measure, House Bill 293, requires teachers, school staff, and public employees to either reauthorize or opt out of their union membership annually. Recent polling shows a majority of Louisianans oppose weakening workers' protections. John Davis with the polling firm Robber Research says opposition to the bill comes from the left and right.
There's significant amount of support in Louisiana for continued protections around workers, their ability to organize, and a concern about policymakers shifting away from policies that support those end goals.
The bill has been approved in the state house and is pending a vote in the Senate. A release by the Louisiana Democratic Party said the bill would force yearly re-sign-ups and let bosses drop union members at any time. Backers say the bill prevents public workers from being forced to pay union dues. I'm Danielle Smith.
And studies show heavy drinking among women has increased more than 40% since the pandemic, putting them at a higher risk of liver disease, breast cancer, and depression.
The National Institutes of Health reports nearly 1 in 3 women aged 18 to 25 now binge drink on a regular basis. Dr. Rachel Seiko Adams with Boston University's School of Public Health encourages women to reevaluate their drinking habits and know the risks.
Be more thoughtful about when and why you're choosing to drink, and think about that really the lower amount of alcohol you have, that is a prevention strategy. So your risks will be lower the less you have.
It's recommended that women limit their alcohol intake to 1 drink or fewer each day, but Adams says it's important to ask for help if daily routines begin to revolve around alcohol, if family relationships become strained, or if it becomes harder to get to work. I'm Catherine Carley.
Finally, housing groups across the country this week have declared a national week of action as federal lawmakers consider a budget that eliminates all funding for fair housing programs.
Montana Fair Housing ensures housing in the state is non-discriminatory as mandated by federal law. But Republicans' federal budget bill, which last week advanced from the House to the Senate by a single vote, has zeroed out all funding for Fair Housing Initiative programs in 2026. Lawmakers argue groups can still apply for Fair Housing Assistance Program dollars, known as FAP, but Pam Beam with Montana Fair Housing says the state doesn't have that program.
If the budget stands as it is now, there will be no fair housing monies coming into the state of Montana. And to get a FAP, we would have to change our state law.
Bean says the group she receives the most requests from and would be most impacted by cuts is people with disabilities, including veterans, older Montanans who have age-acquired limitations, and those who've worked in the ag, mining, and timber industries. I'm Kathleen Shannon.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service. Member and listener supported. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Don't forget, you can listen online too at kchw.org.
dancing as the music comes on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. We are back again with myself, Chuck Ritchie, and the ever-lovely Gina Greenwood. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back to the show. So during the first half, we kind of talked about a bunch of stuff going on with the Friday market. We're going to kind of continue. We're going to talk a little bit about gardening. We've got some local birthdays, some celebrity birthdays coming up. We're going to read off to you.
Birthdays.
But first, you've got a list of things happening at the Friday market throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, I've got some dates here. Debbie Barbie sent these to me. June 20th, Cherry Splat. We talked about that last week. So, again, Bullseye. I think this year they're going to be able to bring their own slingshots.
Yeah.
Was that the rumor?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That is not a rumor. That's confirmed.
Okay, that's official.
That's official. I know last year there was the slingshot was gorgeous. It was this handcrafted slingshot.
Beautiful.
But especially some of the smaller kids
had a hard time.
Yeah, there was no reinforcement, and they were kind of aiming off in the air. They had a hard time pulling
it back. Yeah. So that's great. So slingshots in hand.
I'm hoping this year, because last year the cherries were really, really ripe, and they were really soft. And I'm hoping this year maybe we get a little bit firmer cherries, because what was happening last year is you would squeeze them in that pouch, and they would just juice out all over you. And maybe some bibs next time. Or
there you go.
Aprons. Yeah.
We need some bibs. So then we've got July 5th. It's Independence Day celebration. And then on the 8th is the Zucchini Regatta.
That to me, I think that is the highlight of the year right there.
Super fun.
The Zucchini Regatta.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's way fun.
Yeah.
So many zucchini boats are built.
You know, speaking of, we talked a little about Rochelle and some of her kids. She had one of her daughters wins that almost every year.
Really?
Yeah.
She has her technique down.
I'm not going to give away too much.
No, don't give away her
because I love seeing the big elaborate ones, and please make the big over the top ones. But if you want to win, I'm just going to say simplicity is the key.
Simplicity is the key to many things.
Yep.
But yeah, it's fun. And, we just hollow them out, and I bring biodegradable for the sails and the toothpicks. And then we've got the big marshmallows, jumbo marshmallows, for whatever anybody's creativity wants to do.
And you can bring your own zucchinis.
We have a lot of zucchinis that get donated.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. If you want to, sure, bring some zucchinis if you'd like. But we just, we have a whole station. I mean, it's fun. Whole station. We howl them out, and
some people have brought gourds.
Gourds? That'd be hard to cut with gourd, though. Anyhow, so on September 12th, it's apple pie eating contest. And you told me you won last year, Chuck.
I did. I am the defending apple pie eating champion.
Okay.
I don't even know if I will. I was going to say, I don't even know if I want to defend my title.
Oh,
but
you
will.
Going You'll be right in there. Of course you will.
I'm just going to do it for the free pie.
There you go. And, of course, they're all made by the bakery.
All
the pies are handmade that day. Like they're delicious with whipped cream.
Oh, yeah.
We got the whipped cream
also.
Oh, yeah.
I talked to a few people competing, and they're like, I don't care about winning. I just want a free piece of pie.
And then we've got September 12th is the apple pie eating contest. October 10th is the pumpkin bowling. And it's the last day of the market would be the October 10th.
Yeah.
So there's just a little rundown. Not that you're going to remember all those dates, but those are like the highlights of the events that we're going to be having.
And we'll be there doing the play-by-play.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I know of another person that I need to mention, which is awesome, is, let me just pull her up, Jennifer from River's Edge Ranch. Hold on.
Yes.
She's got incredible stuff this year. Let me just get.
And, if you want to go have a really great conversation about music, those guys are, her and her son are running. Is that her and her son running it? Who's the young man with the beard?
That's, I believe, her son, Sam, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So here's what this is exciting. This year, her new product line, she has lamb, all raised with good food. No GMOs, nothing, all naturally, of course, raised. She's got pasture-raised beef, lamb, goat, pork, poultry later in the season, eggs, tallow products, and a selection of wool products using wool fertilizer pellets. They are awesome. They're locally made in Stevens County, 100% chemical-free, and that's you can use your plants to like nurture your soil with these
Oh.
little pellets. And
Yeah,
then
I
she
tried
makes
them. They
dryer.
taste awful.
She makes dryer balls too by hand
Yes.
with her wool. So it's like in honoring, much like the buffalo from the natives. She uses
Yeah.
every bit. The tallow products are incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Also, so this year she'll have all the beautiful meats and, like I said, eggs and.
And I'm a big fan of the dryer balls and the dryer.
I use them.
They keep the static down, and they really make
Absolutely.
your clothes nice and soft. And what's really nice is you can put some like essential oils.
Yes.
Just drop them right on the
Yes.
wool balls, and you don't need the chemically dryer sheets.
Yeah, and I think she donates her wool, her carded wool, the wool from her lambs, to the fiber friends that do weaving and spinning, such as that. And we used to do felting, and I
Yeah.
love felting. So I was thinking of maybe asking her, maybe tomorrow I'll ask her to, maybe give me a bag of wool, and I can explore with felting.
Yeah.
Finger, just undulating. You just cross layer the wool.
Yeah.
You card it out and you make like a grid, one vertical, one horizontal, one, and then you just take soap and water and you have to have like a little tray, and then you just undulate. You dance your fingertips.
Yeah.
And it mats the felting together, and then you can add different colors in for designs.
Yeah.
Super fun.
We've done that where we did it with bars of soap, and you encase the bars of soap, and then as you wash, the wool shrinks around the bar of soap, and it stays nice and tight
And then
around it.
it's actually something that
Yeah.
you use. That's
Yeah.
that's nice. That's fun.
And we talked about doing some classes, needle felting. My daughter has actually taught needle felting classes before. It's been a long time.
that's
She doesn't really do
great.
it anymore, but
Yeah. Well, felting started in Mongolia. They used to take their horses and drag their felted yurts. Their yurts were made with felt.
Oh.
And they drug their horses on horseback with the logs.
Yeah.
Would undulate throughout for the wool to be made, and they would use those walls of their yurts with felted.
that's incredible.
Yeah, Harry Riverbottom was a classic. He's passed over. People probably remember him, but he did saddle. He was a polo player.
Yeah.
He did a lot at the art center as well, and we did like saddle blankets and like these cool vests that
Yeah.
you can do a whole vest and just do like one cut for your head. Super warm.
Nice.
It can be used as a saddle blanket too. It's like diverse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like felting. Super fun.
I know. I'm going to talk a little more about her lamb. Now, lamb is one of my favorite meats, but it's always one of those when I'm always torn because it's so delicious, but yet then they're so cute.
Well,
it's
yes,
but
of
you know what?
course,
We are
the animals. What I appreciate is they're raised with love and
Yeah.
freedom and good quality food. I mean, she's very particular about it.
Oh yeah,
about what she feeds her animals,
And-
which is
and
important.
We are creatures that eat other creatures, so
Yes,
it's
we
part of the
are.
nature. And I didn't realize before. I had a neighbor when we first moved here, whose parents were goat farmers, and they raised meat goats. And I'd never in my life eaten goat. No idea how delicious it was.
It's
Amazing.
pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. I think the first thing I made with it was a curry. Like a nice
Curry.
goat
Oh
curry.
yeah, yum.
Oh, it was incredible.
I love curry.
And then when they moved, they cleaned out their freezer and they had a whole bunch of extra goat meat that they didn't want to take with them. So
and
we got
you were the receiver.
we got
The
got
recipient.
pounds and pounds of goat meat. We
Wow.
ate goat for months. It was
and that was back
incredible.
in a different area.
No, that was here.
Oh, here?
Yeah, that was right here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually one of the vets over at the vet clinic here
Okay.
in town. It was they were our neighbors. They were having a vet as a next door neighbor is amazing. I really miss. They were great neighbors too.
Absolutely.
I do miss them.
They moved away.
Well, they're still in the area. Actually, they're you can usually find them every Friday at the market. They're Jesse and Justin. I'm not going to use their last name on the air, but yeah, they were phenomenal neighbors. We have
Nice.
great neighbors now, but they're the neighbor. There's some neighbors I'll always remember as being one of our favorite neighbors. So,
Yeah.
good stuff. All right, did I interrupt you with something?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Well, really quick, I'm going to shift gears here. We're going to do some local birthdays.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I
This
love
comes
it.
from the Chula Valley Lions Club calendar. Let's see. Oh my gosh, the writing on here is really small.
There's glasses.
And I'm having a hard time with my lights. Those actually are my glasses.
See, I come in handy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
You know, my prescription's bad, so I don't wear them. But
I just saw them sitting there.
But I
There. How's that? Better?
No, my prescription's bad.
Oh, those are.
I brought him in because I found him. I had lost him for like a couple years, and I found him, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if they work, and I put them on. Like, nope, they don't work anymore. All right, so today with birthday, we have no birthdays on the calendar today, but we have a very special anniversary today. I'm actually kind of excited to see this one.
Yes.
It is Jared and Andrea Arnold's anniversary today.
Aw.
Happy birthday, you two.
Anniversary.
All right, sorry. Yes, thank you. Happy
How many years, I wonder,
Happy
did I
birthday of
say?
your wedding. That's what I meant to say.
Do you know how many years?
I don't. I would love to hear, though. But you know what? I bet those two, they're probably busy working away over there. But I hope you guys have a special day. I hope you guys do something special for your birthday.
Kiss each other.
Maybe stop by the independent office and wish them a happy anniversary.
There you go.
From Chuck.
From Chuck
and Gina at the station.
Yes.
And then, so since we missed yesterday, we had some technical difficulties.
I heard that.
Yesterday was just one thing after another. It was
down, right? You were down. The internet was down.
Yeah.
And power was down.
We were able to broadcast remotely from the tower, but it was just, it's just a generic playlist that plays. It cut us off in the middle of the morning show, and we were just about to interview Virginia and Brad from the Creamery. And they had some exciting stuff to talk to us about. But we're going to have them back on the 11th, on June 11th. They will be back to talk about the stuff that they weren't able to talk about.
They have an art contest, I think, of something to do with the milk bottles.
They do, and that is ending before they're going to be back on the air.
I know, but you can still, creativity can happen. And I think they turn them in tomorrow. Is the 30th, is what I believe. So,
and are they going to have those at the market?
I'm
really
not
sure.
sure. I'm not sure, but I think the deadline. So you'd have to really get on it because today's the 29th.
Yeah.
But go to the creamery and pick out the bottle and ask for more details about that. But I do believe its submission is the 30th.
And I had so many questions about that art contest that I wanted to talk to them about.
Well,
but now they're not here to answer.
I can just call Brad right now.
Right? No,
I'm spontaneous.
Right? But yeah, so go talk to them about
just go. I think they open at noon.
Yeah,
I do believe. Mm-hmm.
And one thing they were going to talk about that
this was kind of fun, though. I'll tell you, I still have some left over. Brad had a lot of the caps, for our Earth Day fair. He gave me a box of caps, right? So I took it was a repurposed. I had these old labels from an old printer. Mm-hmm. So I cut the circles out. It was labor intensive, but it was fun. Put the circles on, and then I use those thin magnets that people use for, an advertisement on your refrigerator.
Yeah,
thin.
yeah.
So I made circles and glued those onto the backs. So whoever wanted to could draw anything on there, like an earth or whatever. And
nice.
They actually work. They actually work. I make magnets out of the recycled caps of the bottles. It was fun.
Awesome.
I have a bunch. Maybe I'll bring some of those tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah. You should.
Yeah, I was up. It was labor of love.
Oh yeah.
To get them all ready because can't have glue guns and all that stuff going on in a fair,
No.
So I did all that part. But the kids really enjoyed, and then they got so creative. They took the beads because I had another little project, and then they were actually in the circle of the cap. They laid the beads sideways. Mm-hmm. Like that beautiful huichol, I think it's called, in the Mexican culture. They use beads and they lay them flat into the bowls, or the huichol might be their stitchery. But you've seen those bowls.
Yeah.
Beads, like little beads put in, like gourd bowls. So the kids got all creative and did that too with the beads, and it was really fun. It was like a little mosaic.
Oh yeah,
mosaic beads and that was the magnet.
Gorgeous
for the fridge.
Gorgeous.
I know.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Very cool. All right, so I want to get, again, since we had technical difficulties yesterday. Yesterday with a birthday, we had Brooke Rapette and Xander Garash. And I wasn't even able to get my announcements or anything out yesterday because we lost the internet. And then as soon as the internet came back up on, boom, power went out. And that takes up a lot of time to get everything rebooted once that power goes out.
Absolutely. I know. I had that happen with a few people that were saying that things were down yesterday.
Yeah.
For quite a while. But now
we're back up and running.
We're running.
And that's all that matters.
That's
all that
really,
matters.
That counts.
All right. So there was something. Oh, I do have. Speaking of crafty labor and cutting stuff out.
Yes.
So we give away stickers. We give away KCHW stickers a lot.
Yeah.
I had a new order of stickers come in yesterday, and I think I sent the wrong file because usually it's a full round sticker.
I have one
with the KCHW logo on it.
It's different now.
We have another logo that has like these little FM signal. It sort of goes along the side of KCHW. They're like little arrows, but it's a depiction of the FM signal.
Okay.
And I had that on the file. So there's this little tiny KCHW logo on a big white sticker. And
let's do something with those.
And I need to trim those up, or I need to find some creative.
Do you have them with you today?
I do. I need to find some creative labor. There's 200 of them.
Well, let's see what we can come up with.
Like if I could find just a stamp or something to just go boom and cut them all out and make them
Well,
nicer,
let me take a look at them, and I can.
Yeah. Because they're not very nice the way they are.
Well, we can make it work.
I like white space, but sometimes too much white space is just nothing. Yeah. All right, so that took care of that. Do you want to do some celebrity birthdays?
Go ahead.
It's fun to do these when Sharon's here because Sharon has no idea who most of these people are.
Oh well, who knows about
Right.
me? I'm not sure either. But
all right, so
give it a go.
On our celebrity birthdays, there's a couple here that I actually really love. The first one here, not really sure who this is. He played Luke Spencer on General Hospital. He's 78. That is Anthony Geary. Then, of course, the famous Danny Elfman, one of the most successful composers, musicians of all time. Are you familiar with Danny Elfman?
Mm-mm.
So Danny Elfman, he was the Oingo Boingo frontman back in the
Oingo
80s.
Boingo.
Yeah. But what he's really known for now is film scores. He's done countless film scores. He's probably best known. The Nightmare Before Christmas was entirely done. The music was written, the lyrics were written. A lot of the songs were even sung by Danny Elfman.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I believe Jack's voice. I don't know if the actual voice actor was Danny Elfman, but Danny Elfman sung all of his songs in the movie.
That was a very popular.
Oh yeah,
still is.
Oh
People love it.
And he did the old Tim Burton Batman movies. He did
Oh,
the scores
yes.
for those. One of my just the fascinating guy. One of my favorite musicians. Really, really super successful. All right, LaToya Jackson, 69.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I was LaToya. Ted Levine. Oh, he was in he was the serial killer in The Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. And he played a much more friendly character in the TV series Monk. He's 68. Rupert Everett is 66. Annette Bening is 67. Lisa Whelchel, 62. She's known for the Facts of Life Survivor in the Philippines. I don't know. Apparently, she made the list of celebrity birthdays.
There you go.
Melissa Etheridge, the longtime singer, songwriter.
I actually have a little story about her.
Oh, well, she's 64, and I want to hear your story.
Well, it was incredible. My cousin lives in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
She loves music, as I do. She got backstage passes, and I was at the sound check for Melissa Etheridge. We got to go backstage. She had like 20 incredible guitars.
Ooh.
She was so awesome. And so that was just like a thrill in Ohio. So that was my treat that my cousin gifted me with.
And you got to meet her?
I got to meet her. I got to meet her sound check. I was in the beginning of the before the concert. Then we got to go back and meet her and look at all her incredible guitars. She had like 20.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was a special package that somehow my cousin ended up, her name was Jackie. Yeah, it was wonderful.
How was she?
She was incredible.
I can imagine.
Incredible.
She's iconic.
And her heart, she was just a very generous, giving person. It just emanates from her spirit. So.
A living legend. She truly is.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Laverne Cox. She was best known for Orange is the New Black. Orange is the New Black is the name of the show. I thought I said that wrong, but that's right.
Yes.
She is 653. Melanie Brown. She's Scary Spice from the Spice Girls.
How?
50 years young.
Oh, there you go.
I've seen her recently. She looks she looks amazing. All the Spice Girls do. I was watching a TV show with Victoria Beckham last night.
Huh.
She still looks like she's in her 20s.
Spice Girls.
And they were in their 20s when they were doing the Spice Girls back in the 90s.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, they all look incredible. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. McKelty Williamson. He's best known for Forrest Gump, is 68. Adrian Paul from the Highlander series is 66. Aaron Magruder, a cartoonist from the Boondocks, is 51. Anders Holm, an actor and comedian known for Workaholics, is 44. Riley Keough, I think I'm pronouncing that right. She's best known for playing Daisy Jones in The Six, I guess. Oh, she's Elvis. That's Elvis Presley's granddaughter. Riley Keough. She's 36. And then Greg Sulkin is 33.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna do some of our special events of the day, but the list is way too long. We're not gonna do that. So I do want to talk too about this concert we have coming up.
Yes,
we started.
I want to hear about this.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. Then obviously our internet cut out. We didn't get a chance to talk too much about it. But Craig was there in the comments. Tell him about the show. Tell him about the show.
Definitely.
So Craig, if you're still listening, you can chime in here in the comments, and we'll listen to you. Speaking of Craig, I didn't say Craig and the Bratz. They're going to be at the Rusty Putter on Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m. to dance on the greens. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna keep talking about this for the next month, and this show I'm over the moon.
Hear it.
I'm over the moon
excited
excited about this.
That's awesome.
Craig, when I first met Craig, I think it was in the first 3 or 4 conversations we had. Craig told me about this amazing band he's a huge fan of called Igor and the Red Elvises.
Igor and the Red Elvis.
Igor and the Red Elvises.
Great name.
Now, if he said if they're ever in the area, I want to see if I can get him to come to Chihuahua. He's like, I don't know if they will. They're this big band. They've been around for 30 years. They've toured the world.
Wow.
He first discovered them when he was a kid. He watched a documentary on them on PBS.
Okay.
On this band, Igor and the Red Elvises. And became a fan long before he ever met him. And then a few years ago, I guess he got, and Craig, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here. I know he's listening. Got to open for them years ago or meet them somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And found out they were coming back through the area again. Contacted them. He's opening for them in Spokane. His band is opening for them in Spokane and got them to come
To
up
come
here
to Chihuahua
on a Monday night.
Fantastic.
Now, I hope Chihuahua's ready for this. I don't think anything like this has ever happened in Chihuahua before. These guys, again, like I said, they've been around for about 30 years, since the mid-'90s. They are...
And what genre of music? What's the flavor?
They are sort of a mashup. They have this Ukrainian folk music sort of background. They have the biggest balaleka you have ever seen in your life. A balaleka is that, traditional sort of folk triangle shaped, I guess a lute is what you call it, a lute sort of guitarish, a stringed instrument.
Right.
This thing is massive. Wow. Now, Igor himself is Ukrainian. He went to college, I believe. He went to school in Russia, and then he was a foreign exchange student, came to the United States. That's how he came here. And he's had a variety of different bandmates throughout the years. Some of them are Russian, some are Ukrainian. And they do this really super fun mix of like traditional Ukrainian folk sort of background.
Right.
But then they do reggae, they do ska, they do
love
rockabilly.
I love that ethnic flavors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
that's so fun.
And they dress up in the most insane Elvis costumes. And they sing the most
Perfect.
ridiculous, funny, amazing songs. But
how fun.
with a super...
So what day are they
they're
coming?
Incredibly talented.
What day?
June 30th.
June 30th.
June 30th at 6
On a Monday.
p.m. On a Monday. This is going to be at the Chihuahua Center for the Arts.
Okay.
Now they're a little too big to have here in our theater.
Right.
So we're going to rent the big theater.
Okay.
And have them perform there.
Sounds exciting.
We're going to get tickets up for sale next week. We're looking for sponsors for the show because they do, you bring a band this size to town, and the expenses are a little higher than what we normally do. So
Right.
so definitely, please, if you're a business out there and you want to sponsor one of the craziest bands that Chihuahua has ever seen, you're going to want to get your name on this. They're a ball of fun.
That is great.
I mean, they're good, clean family fun.
Awesome.
Well, maybe they might have a few words peppered in here and there, but you're going to dance.
How
You're
exciting.
going to dance your butt off.
That's good.
You're gonna have a great time at the show.
Make sure there's dance space.
Oh yeah. They're that perfect mix of comedy and wonderful musicianship.
That's excellent.
And you're gonna
I'm looking forward to
You're
that.
gonna hear stuff you've never heard before, and they're just 110% every note, and
That's
they just put everything into it.
That's
and you
great.
can check them out. They've done if you're familiar with the Jam in the Van series, it's a YouTube series where they get bands to come in and they have this big giant decked out van, and they get these really big name musicians to come and play in this little tiny van. It's right up there with Tiny Desk as far as not quite as popular as Tiny Desk, but pretty close.
Well, that's good. What's it called?
Jam in the Van. It's
Jam in the Van.
It's a YouTube series, and they were featured on Jam in the Van.
Sounds exciting.
YouTube Igor and the Red Elvises, and you're going to want to come see the show. So,
And how do you spell Igor?
Igor.
Okay.
Igor, and it's pronounced Igor, not Igor.
Igor.
Yeah. So I'm.
And the Red Elvises.
Igor and the Red Elvises. They're going to be performing in Portland, Spokane, and Seattle.
And in Chihuahua.
And in Chihuahua, Washington.
Yeah.
And I believe, and again, Craig, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's Old Souls and Antiques that's going to be opening up for them. It's one of the
Mhm.
Will and Rob Lee and Craig, they're going to be opening
They're
up for the show.
great.
Oh yeah,
Terrific.
It's going to be good fun. And we've got some posters, some really nice posters that we're going to be signed by the band that we're going to be giving away at the show. I wore my Igor and the Red Elvis' show t-shirt yesterday, so
Okay.
I don't have it on today, but
That sounds so
I
exciting.
almost wore it again today.
What a treat.
I'm excited. And the sheer look of joy on Craig's face when he first told me that he got them.
That he
'cause
got him to come.
He's been talking about these guys,
That's
like I said, since I've known him.
Good job, Craig.
Thank you, Craig. Craig has done so much great stuff for the station. Appreciate it. Looking forward to that. June 30th. Tickets are going to go on sale next week. If you want us to make sure you get a ticket, you can start messaging me now, and I'll let you know first on the list when
There
those
you go.
tickets come up available.
Excellent.
So yeah, it's. I just can't stop talking about it. It's going to be one of the
Sounds
coolest,
fantastic.
one of the coolest shows ever.
Yay.
So they're going to be blowing it up right here in Chihuahua. All right. So with that said, we got a few minutes left in this show. So and I got sidetracked on the Red Elvis' show, and I'm just
exciting.
woo, I'm at a loss now.
exciting.
Now we've got some gardening tips that we were going to go
I have
through.
this thing that I like to share.
Yeah.
It's in a bookmark format. How do you plant your garden? First, plant 3 rows of peas. Peace of heart, peace of mind, and peace of soul. Second, plant 4 hills of squash. Squash gossip, squash grumbling, squash indifferences, and squash selflessness. Well, how about then plant 5 rows of lettuce? Let us be faithful. Let us be kind. Let us be generous, and let us love one another. And no garden is complete without turnips. Turn up for meetings. Turn up for service to others. Water it regularly with patience. Cultivate it with love. Let your garden bring forth much fruit.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
That is so sweet.
It is sweet. And so just make bookmarks, and then the kids can color, draw on the back or whatever, and then little hole punch, and then I can teach them how to make a real tassel, like a bookmark.
Yeah.
That sticks. I know how to do those.
And are you going to have these at the market?
I think I might.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So have a little variety.
Yeah. I love that.
And bugs, we talked about the bugs because bugs are very beneficial to the garden. We'll have facts about that.
Oh, good.
Some bugs are not, but some are very important.
Well, the bugs this year love my yard.
Oh, good.
I haven't mowed it yet. Other than
I don't
other than
mow
once
in
before
May
they
either. I wish I had a sign like the sign at the UCC. No mow May for the bees to grow, and it's true. I mean, they're pollinating still, and the dandelions and all over the place, and so I adopt that myself.
And I just yesterday I was looking in my backyard at the sea of weeds, and some new yellow flowers popped up that I've never seen, like a whole sea of these yellow flowers, and I don't know what they are.
And the bees really, they do. I mean, they pollinate, but they love this time of year for that. So I choose not to mow in May as well.
Now, we've done it before, but I've never seen, pardon me, I've never seen my yard grow this much, this fast.
Mm-hmm.
It is insane. I have areas in my yard now that are above my belly button. I have no idea how I'm going to knock those down.
I wasn't aware that irises are so fragrant.
Oh.
I didn't know. I mean, I have iris, and then I clip a little bouquet, to bring in. I could not believe it was the larger. Of course, the purple, they have yellow and white and whatever. But I couldn't believe how fragrant. I was not aware of that because certain flowers, are just more fragrant.
Yeah.
Stargazer lilies are incredible.
Yes.
Those are wonderful.
Yep.
But and many others too, but I just didn't realize, and the irises are everywhere and they're so pretty. And the lilacs, of course, they're kind of, I see all these beautiful colors, and the white are the most fragrant, I've heard. But the deep purple, oh my gosh, they're incredible.
I believe they're irises. Do they come? Their leaves look like large blades of grass.
Yep. And
yeah.
They have like this crown top with the petals that kind of go down.
Yeah.
They grow tall.
Now, we had these. I thought they were just like a ornamental grass that was growing. We have the creek run through our backyard.
Mm-hmm.
For years, this just sort of grass would grow up. I didn't realize until like year 5 of living here, they were irises, and they only bloom once every few years.
Right, and that's are they yellow?
I think they might be yellow or white. It's been a few years since they bloomed.
Because Gail, oh my gosh, her pond has the pond lilies. She calls them.
Mm-hmm.
They're they're everywhere
Yeah.
in this beaver pond, right where she lives.
Yeah.
And they're gorgeous.
Oh, nice.
And they're once a year, yellow, just poof. And yeah, they're incredible.
I know my peonies are just about ready to pop out.
So you live on a creek. You have a creek in your backyard.
Yeah.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's
it's nice.
wonderful.
It was one of the main reasons we didn't even look inside the house yet. We knew it was a fixer upper. We knew it had been a rental house for decades.
But the creek.
And I was prepared for a rental house, and we went in that backyard, and we're like,
oh yeah.
My wife and I, we looked at each other, and we kind of smiled, and nodded, like, yeah,
this is it.
We're gonna.
That's incredible.
We didn't haggle on the price. We said we'll take it.
That's
we'll give them what they want.
fantastic.
We just want this place because of the creek in the
Yep,
backyard.
absolutely.
Yeah. Turns out it's not. It's a lot of work to maintain a creek, and we were hoping that we'd be able to play in the creek and have the dogs and stuff, but it's very soft in the bottom. So, but it also turns out it's protected too, so they don't want you playing in it, which is great.
Right.
But it
you
really
get
is.
to just hear it, listen to it, visualize, and be near it. That's awesome.
It really is nice.
It helps
at night when the weather's nice. You
can
open
hear
up
the
all the
creek.
windows and you
Yeah.
can hear the creek. It's kind of soothing, especially when you're laying there trying to go sleep at night. You can hear the
Beautiful.
creek running.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. All right. With that said, that is about the end of our show for today.
Okay.
We'd like to thank
It
you
was
for
fun.
listening. And you
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, Gina. I appreciate it.
I'm enjoying.
I'm really looking.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it too.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing what we do with this show. There are so many the opportunities with you here, Gina.
It'll be
are
fun.
endless.
Well, yeah, I'm ready.
We're gonna do some fun
and
stuff.
we'll just tomorrow maybe we'll tell me the inspirational idea of the kid.
Yes, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll probably go a little long here because
That's okay. I want to hear this.
Out.
Yeah.
We put out the Jergens Creations, again, another market vendor. They do 3D printing. They created this amazing donation thing for us. It's basically it's supposed to be a curb with KCHW graffitied on the curb and a guitar case that opens up to put donations in.
Okay.
Last Friday at the end of the market, there were the green where you can at the market you can use your debit card.
Yes.
And they give you tokens for vendors that don't take cards. There were 3 of those, $15 worth in our little donation bin. And I was like, oh, that's really neat. I didn't know where they came from. I was like, oh, cool. Maybe we'll get lunch next week.
Yeah.
I found out later, someone told me, they said, yeah, my kid dropped those off. And he's a really big fan of the station, and he had some extra, and he wanted to donate those tokens to the station.
Fantastic.
And I thought, what a great thing. If you have those extra tokens at the end of the day, I know you can always bring them back next week. I'm not saying you have to leave them. But if we can figure out a way to get people to donate those tokens and use them for, I know the Tasty Fund program is losing funding. If maybe we could figure out and coordinate a way to use for people to buy those tokens from the market gets a little cut of them. The vendors get to use them and make a little bit of money. And if we can distribute those maybe through the kids program and get a donation thing going and start collecting tokens for kids.
So remember last week it was a CSA, consumer supported agriculture. That's what we were both. Thank you. Yeah. So that's where people prepay the farmer and they get a box of fresh food each week, whatever's in season.
Yeah.
So I think that you said the Tasty program is similar to that in a concept because they drop boxes of food of people in need.
Yeah.
Correct. Different locations.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out about.
I also meant to say the Kernel program is losing funding. The Tasty program does fundraising. And
I found out that yes, the Kernel program. Yes, it's we're just going to have to be creative and.
So,
I mean, I just found that out as well last week.
So I was thinking,
but we're rocking it this year.
Tokens from kids, but is inspiring me to think of a way to get tokens to kids.
Okay, there you go.
So I just thought it was a fun thing.
No, that is.
Maybe we can work something out. I mean, it's a farmers market currency that we can use and maybe start collecting those and have drop off points where people can distribute those and we can get those out. There's a lot of kids too along the lines of the Tasty program. They don't get. There's a lot of people in need that don't get a lot of stuff.
In the summer. Are they going to have the free lunches again? Do you know? They used to when we used to do art camps and we would walk the kids over and it's right in the park. I haven't heard yet.
I haven't heard yet if they're doing that or not. Right. But we can contact the schools and see if because that was done through the schools, right?
I'm not sure where it was sourced from. I'm not sure, but it's a good program.
Okay. But yeah, I just
free lunches for kids in the summer.
Definitely.
They just, like 11:30, there's a bus. They have locations in the park, and I'm sure they have some. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know.
need that.
Yeah.
And I just love the idea of, especially for the kids during the summertime. A lot of them, I keep harping on this, but there really is a shocking number of children that the only food they get on a regular basis is what they eat in schools.
Right. So it's very, very important.
And it's not a parenting failure. It's just the world we live in, and it's just the reality of it.
So we'll look into that.
Anything we can do to
Absolutely.
get some fresh, healthy food in the hands of kids, we should explore.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So now, thank you for reminding me of that. But that is our morning show.
Okay.
You can tune in right here tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to have Out of the Woods. 8 to 9 p.m. is Kelton a Twist. Then from 9 to 11, we have Acoustic Cafe. So we'd like to thank you all for listening to the KCHW Morning Show right here on KCHW 102.7. Tune in tomorrow morning for myself, Craig McQuain, and we are going to have, I scrolled past her name here. Who was it? Deborah Stark. Deborah Stark is going to be joining us tomorrow morning on the KCHW Morning Show. Thanks for listening, everybody. You have a great day. We will see you all later.
All right, to be continued.
Have a great one, guys.
Bye.
It's 9:03.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
It's 9:05.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Chewelah, Loon Lake, Clayton. You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Chewelah, Colville, Kettle Falls.
It was just like magic when your hips came crashing. There were fires burning and my hands done in the paint with passion. It was planets meeting, it was synced up breathing. There were angels calling and more free falling than I believed in. Yeah, memories like freight trains hit me. I replay to keep you with me. Better to have had than not at all. We were chasing stars across the county lines, two imperfect pieces with our fingers intertwined. And I would do it all again, knowing I'd be left behind. Oh, what a time, back when you were mine. I'm still certain that when the pain comes back in waves, yeah, it was worth it. Yeah, memories like freight trains hit me. I replay to keep you with me. Better to have heard than not at all. We were chasing stars across the county lines, two imperfect pieces with our fingers intertwined. And I would do it all again, knowing I'd be left behind. Oh, what a time, back when you were mine. Across the county line, two imperfect pieces with our fingers intertwined. And I would do it all again, knowing I'd be left behind. Oh, what a time, back when you were mine, when you were mine.
You're listening to KCHW 102.7 Northern Lights Public Radio.
Together, you and me, trying to figure out this world. Always searching for the reasons to believe what makes this big ball turn. But if we hold on to each other, give love, show